I need a FOMO for a second. My back hurts. Can we move this?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Please. Yikes.
Okay. Did you hear? Let me.
Crack a bottle, let your body waddle. We did legs today and we did them full throttle. Whoa, bitch is hopping in my Subaru. Just kidding, I don't know. I don't have a Subaru.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to LadyBallerz. Happy to have ya. Happy Tuesday night. I don't know. You don't know that it's Tuesday, but we do.
Now they know.
Yeah. We're just gonna dive in. We're just gonna dive into.
Dive in deep.
I love this. Like I literally have like backup dancers right next to me. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, we're just acting out everything she says.
Yeah, it's awesome. So we're gonna talk about seasonal depression.
I've been so happy recently. It feels like nothing can get me down. Hey, man. Hey, you were saying? I was just saying I've been so happy recently. Hey, buddy. Hold on now. Hold on.
Because 'tis the season. I feel like we're entering that.
The season to do Molly. Just kidding.
I mean, yeah, you
if you're
can do
depressed,
both.
no, I'm kidding. Never done it.
We've got all the medication.
We
do. We are
That's
medicated
all the
in
doctor.
this house.
Natural.
Holistic.
No, I love that topic.
Yeah. It's relevant.
It's so relevant.
The season for it. Like the sun is going down way too early.
Yeah.
Like,
as well as my serotonin.
Yeah.
And I think that's really why we wanted to come and talk about that today, because I think we're all feeling the feels. And, being in San Diego, the sun is setting at 4:50. And so we're like fighting to get as much sunlight as possible throughout the day. But by like 5 o'clock, we're like, all right, is it bedtime? Like, do we sit on the couch and watch some Netflix?
It's so weird.
Or, like, it's just so weird.
It's very confusing.
Yeah.
But fun fact, everyone, get excited. The sun.
Time doesn't
We
exist.
will be gaining time starting December 15th. My mom always likes to remind me every single year because she knows that I suffer from seasonal depression. And
Right.
I don't know. I mean, now that I've moved out to San Diego and I have more access to beautiful weather and a little bit more sunlight, like the opportunity to go outside, I feel like this is going to be the first year that I'm not like dealing with that. So I'm super excited.
Yeah. And, I guess then going into it, I'm going to jump right in as well. Let's hit the deep end. You said that you're going to be...
Why am I doing this today? It's like I have to make
side
sound effects. Anyway.
You just mentioned like you're not going to really be experiencing those things, or probably not. I mean, time will tell.
I'm feeling good.
But what are the things that you have currently experienced when living in PA during this time of the season? And also, what are the things that you're expecting to be different now that you're here?
Oh, okay.
Question master.
I know. I like it. It's deep.
Always. Hello.
Yeah.
It's LadyBallerz.
It is.
We go deep in here.
Yeah.
Very deep.
Disgusting.
So I would say, I dealt with like all the things. My weight would always fluctuate, but like as you guys learned, my eating habits were not ever like on par. I was sleeping a lot. I was sleeping a lot. And
Hibernation.
I was.
Literally.
Yeah, my friends would always say that. They're like, Tara's hibernating. Like,
Because you're like waiting for it to get over with.
Right.
It's like, what else are you going to do?
Right. Like
sit there and feel it more?
Exactly.
in my head, thought that I was better off just like sleeping. Like I would take naps all the time rather than just like facing my thoughts. And what was going on in my head. So like there were a lot of intrusive thoughts and things that I just didn't want to deal with. So I would just like kind of sleep it off.
It's like coping mechanism.
Yeah, it's escapism.
Totally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was just like running from whatever problems that like I needed to be dealing with. So now, moving forward, and lack of vitamin D. Like, I feel like
100%.
that's like a huge...
Totally.
It's
just
not all
like-
psychosomatic.
Right. Like, it's not all just me.
It's not all psychosomatic.
yeah.
No.
Right. Like, it's literally just like, you need vitamin D, and
Yeah.
it being so cold in Pennsylvania,
Totally.
like, I couldn't go outside. I couldn't go on walks like
Yeah.
I am like here. And just like appreciating the beauty of the world, because it would be cold and gloomy and rainy
Yeah.
and whatever it is that day. So like that played a huge factor. So I think moving forward, I'm just excited to, like, I feel great. It's December and I'm like, first off, how the hell
How?
is it December?
I don't know.
But I'm feeling good. So like, I'm not trying to like overthink it and be like, oh, this always
Yeah, like,
happens
don't
to me.
try
Like,
to
it's
have
gonna
it come.
hit me at some point. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like,
Just
I'm
taking
just
it
kinda
day by
flowing with
day.
it. Yeah. And if I have bad days, like we all have off days, I'll just be kind to myself and deal with it as it comes.
I love that.
Yeah.
I also, the point you made about how dealing with the thoughts and all of that, because you can't go outside and like just go for a run in the nice sun or something. Like, it's interesting when you said that. I was like, I do think all year round we have the same problems or issues. I mean, they change as time comes on, but like the things are still there in the summer. It's just easier to distract ourselves from them.
Yeah.
Whereas in the winter, we have to like face everything that we distracted ourselves with in the seasons that were nice. It's almost like game time, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh crap, I can't go and run outside or go to the bar outside with friends or like all this stuff. You're stuck inside with everything that you've been pushing off to think about, to fix, to understand, to resolve. Like, it just comes all at once, which is horrible. But then there's also the vitamin D part and the serotonin part that is really out of your control, right? Like, I grew up in Wisconsin and my sleep was so bad when I was living there because I would get to the office when it was dark and then I would leave when it was dark and I would stare at a computer all day. And it's like, how does anyone have a circadian rhythm that's regular living like that, you know? So there is like biological mechanism behind all of it. So it's like controlling what you can, but then also figuring out a way to get through the part that you can't.
And it's funny because it's like a lot of it is so out of our control. You know, we all kind of face, and it is such a common thing, right? Everybody knows that with seasonal depression, you come with a lack of energy, feeling of sadness, some, depression kicking in. It's easy to gain some weight. It's easy to sleep more. It's easy
Or
to,
less.
I don't know why I can't speak. It's easy to like stay inside more and just not get like that sunlight. But when you guys were talking and sharing into that, I kind of just had this, again, here goes Ashley being all positive and optimistic. It's like, how can we beat the system, right? And also, it allows you to kind of have two different sort of routines. You can have a summer and spring routine, and then you can have a fall and a winter routine to stay ahead and make sure that you're still doing the habits and doing the things that make you feel good versus just losing full control and being like, well, it's dark outside, I can't do anything. But it's like, all right, well, we still can. We still have so many hours in the day, but it's like, what can we do differently? And what brings us joy during these times of the season changes? It's like, okay, we're not running to the beach on our weekends as much as we used to, but it's like, what are we doing different? I know I've been hiking a little bit more, and it's just doing different outdoor activities that I wouldn't necessarily do if it was summer or springtime because I would just want to go lay at the beach. So it is kind of cool to see that, like, as long as you keep your mindset positive and you keep your routine, you keep your habits, you know what makes you feel good, do those things, but it might be different.
Yeah, I think falling in love with a new routine is beautiful, and when it shifted to cold, I was happy. Number one, because our electricity bill was so freaking expensive, so I could actually sleep at night now. But then also, I find myself reading a lot more, which in the summer, I'm like, I don't want to be inside, it's too nice out. And now I can like slow down and be like, well, I don't really have anywhere to be, so let's pick up the book. So it's like, I love this
Yeah.
kind of new phase, whereas I used to resent it and get really upset. And like, I honestly would get depressed before even fall
Yeah.
hit. Like, I would
Wow.
feel the sun get lower at like 3 p.m. in the day, and I'm like, oh God, fall's coming, which means winter's coming, which means depression, which means darkness, cold, ice, like. So it's wonderful to find the new things you love, or like cozying up with someone and like watching a movie, lighting a fire. Like, gosh, damn, I miss that cozy
We're fully
shit.
embracing this grandma fall season for sure. We've got our books out at like 5 o'clock after work. We're sitting on
Before
okay,
that.
yeah, we work East Coast hours, so we're on the couch reading our book while the sun's going down. We make our dinner together. We watch Netflix, like, but you know what? Like, and we don't go out as much. Like, I love it. We don't do it often.
It's a routine.
We
It's a
do.
really good
routine.
And
it makes me happy.
Yeah, and like, I don't know about you guys, but you know me.
It's definitely important to have like the breakdown of those seasons, like being energetic and like outdoors and like doing all the things in the summer, and then
I agree.
having that time to recharge. Like we all need that. Like,
Imagine summer all year.
It
What we
also
did
makes
summer
you-
all year.
And it makes you so appreciative,
Right.
And it makes you love those things a little bit more,
And
you
honestly,
like look forward to it coming back.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I almost get like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
No, go.
Go.
No,
You go.
you go.
I'll go. All right.
I'm gonna just like put a sticky note on what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Okay.
All I wanted to say really was that I truly believe that like humans are supposed to hibernate. Like animals are. Like we are
Yeah.
an evolution of like animals. So I think that we are supposed to.
Right, and cavemen lived in cold places.
Yeah.
So it's not like
Yeah.
they just lived in Florida.
Right.
Okay, so that's funny you said that, because I actually was about to jump into that and saying, truthfully, this is the first year that I am sort of experiencing this cold weather, sun going down super early, being dark out, being from Florida, that's not really the case.
It's not as cold.
Yeah, and the sun doesn't set that early. Like the sun sets at 6 o'clock on an early season, and still that's pretty normal.
Right.
You still have like the whole time after work to get your things done, and I mean, for a Florida girl, it's cold, but
It is
I'm not gonna.
It is
Watch
cold.
people are gonna flood into the inbox like 40, 50 degrees is not cold. It's cold.
Here,
It's cold when you don't own a coat.
okay. Also,
Yeah,
needs to get a coat.
She does not.
definitely needs to
like
get a
the fall attire is just
yeah.
like where
I just
she's
have to get the
working on
clothing
it.
for
I love
Yeah.
it. She thought it'd be like 75
Yeah.
all year round.
I've always lived in tropical
Yeah.
areas. No matter where it was, I always migrated towards the beach and tropical
well,
areas.
it feels
so,
better in our
yeah,
bodies.
it's kind of cool to see like how I'm not letting that affect me as well. Like mentally, I feel very strong in my habits and
Good.
just like loving changes and just picking up new habits. And like you said, reading. Like I'm finally.
We're
like,
so into reading,
I like
all of us
reading
now.
I used
Yeah.
to hate reading.
You know what? I think like
I did. I used to hate
yeah,
it.
me too. When I had to read is when I hated it, and now it's like my choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My book, my choice. But I feel like contrast is the big picture of all this, and without it, life is so unfulfilling and boring. And if we had summer all year round, number one, I'd be tanked, like totally burned out, because I'm just like, take advantage of the nice day. Like I still have that mentality from being from somewhere with such awful weather. Whenever there's a nice day, it's like you have to go outside. Like if you are not outside, you are wasting maybe 1% of the days that are nice. You know what I mean? Like it's really like this obsession. And so this weather like forced me to work on our side businesses. Businesses. Why can't I speak today? Businesses more, and like feel okay going to coffee shops on a Saturday instead of like, oh my God, I need to go to the beach at peak hours to get my tan. Like it just, the contrast is super beautiful, and those actual seasons of the year I feel like help you move through seasons in life. And we almost needed this weather for us to focus on different aspects of our businesses, our lives, our careers. So I I know that for us too, it's a little easier because we are somewhere that's still moderate climate. Like, it's not snowing outside. So
Don't
for all
shit
of
on
you
us.
that are in like -30, I've been there,
we
done
are
that. I'm
feeling it.
so sorry.
Let's give some tips to people in that sort of climate who need some help to get through this season.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say
Wanna start?
definitely try to like keep on with your routine. Like
Yeah.
if you're working out, like maybe you can't walk every day, but like at least try to keep going to the gym, even when it is
Go
cold.
somewhere.
Home
Yes.
workouts.
Yeah.
Get creative
Yeah.
with it. Get fun with it. It's like, okay, I can't go outside. What can I do?
Yeah.
Don't just sit on the couch.
Right.
Like, get fun, get creative, go to the
Dance.
gym, dance,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, like I was listening to a podcast today and it was about releasing trauma. And even if you don't have trauma, dancing is good for your soul. Okay.
dancing's so
but
fun.
she basically, like all of her patients, she has them dance for it could be like 5 to 10 minutes a day. And some people just like wake up and for like 5 to 10 minutes, you just move in whatever way feels good.
Yeah.
And it's just like such a grounding way to reconnect with the present moment, your body, because I feel like most of us, we wake up or, you know, we get out of work, it's still dark out, so then we go to more screens. And that takes us out of our bodies so much. So like, movement.
Dance
I think
parties.
movement
Yeah.
is huge.
I actually read about that too. Like,
I
there
used
was
to
like
do
a
it.
study on that, and I had a period in my I was just like feeling the feels,
Yeah.
and I literally would like every night like put on music and just
so
have
good.
like a little like dance sesh
Yeah,
to
that's
myself.
so good.
And
I
it,
did it
like
every
it
morning,
feels so good.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
it
so
does.
good
I
for
used
you.
to do that every morning, and it was so much fun. It was such a natural energy booster, and like it's kind of like gratitude.
Yeah.
It just instantly puts you into a good mood. Like you
Yeah.
can't dance. Like who has ever danced and then walked away and been like,
Yeah.
you know?
No one gets in a bad. You're not gonna walk away from dancing in a bad
No,
mood.
you're always just so happy. Like that's what I like thrive off of dancing. I love it.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
And just like personal experience last year when I went through my burnout and my thyroid crashed, I was in a very severe depression state. And when you're in that state, it's like you're too achy and tired to do anything, right? And also you don't have any motivation to do anything. So I couldn't even go on walks. But the one thing that I found I could do, and it was like visiting my family back home and staying with them, was I put on music and I just danced like in my socks on the wood floor, and it felt so good. It was the only thing that didn't hurt my joints, and like my soul just kind of felt like, oh my God, it's still here. So if you're going through depression or anything like that, going to the gym can be super hard sometimes, or like doing an intense weightlifting workout that you're used to.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that when you're in such a low state. So dancing, I honestly, like any intentional movement, yoga, dancing, I firmly believe would be so helpful.
Yeah, and also like getting, tapping into your creative self as well. Like maybe start painting, you know, start journaling, start writing, start creating. Like we all have a natural ability to like create.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important, even crafting, like making like bracelets or whatever it is that
Baking.
you want to baking. But I went through like a baking phase too, and it was really fun for me because, I was experimenting so much with like vegan recipes or gluten-free recipes or dairy-free recipes. So yeah, it just became really fun for me to like find something that tasted good, and it became like my little like winter project.
And it smells
stuff.
good, and it gets
smells
cozy.
good. Yeah.
And you can like share it with your friends.
Yeah.
My favorite thing was like giving it to people.
That's another thing too, is like making sure not to isolate, and maybe you can speak to that too, like when you feel low and when you feel tired and when you feel just like drained from whether it be depression, low vitamin D, whatever, it's so easy to just like get into a rut of staying in and not seeing your friends and not going out and doing things. But I feel like this is when we need community most, connection most, like go to a church or go to a dance class or go to a coffee shop with friends, like make it a thing every Sunday. I feel like that's something that would probably help lift spirits so much. Truthfully, if you can't have like the sun and all of that, like at least get the connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like communicate that. Like if you are feeling those feelings, like let your friends know. Like let your family know. Like let those people know, because you do need community, and like I'm the queen of self-isolation, like I have been in the past. So and it gets so bad to the point where it's like social anxiety, like I'm scared to go back out and like get out of my shell. So even if like you're not feeling it, like hanging out with people, just like let them know. Like let them know where you're at mentally. Like just be honest about where you're at, and you don't have to share everything.
And maybe
just,
like
you know, just like let them know, because then maybe you can go over and like you guys can do crafts or like do something fun, like do like a little activity together, or literally just sit in silence and like
just coexist,
read, watch a movie, just like do something, but
coexist.
like just having that person there and like it's just, it helps. It does.
I think too, when you have friends close enough with you where you can truthfully communicate this in a way that just is so honest, like Ashley and Tara, for me, they know that sometimes I struggle to go to things. I'll just be like, I want to, but then I'll like get in my head about it, and they'll be like, go. You're gonna have fun, just go. And then I'm always happy I did. And so like I almost need that out of friendship. It's just someone that kind of holds me accountable. They know that I always come back feeling better, that I went because I committed and I wanted to go initially, and then I think that anxiety builds up right before. Having those people to keep you accountable, I guess. Just to
Accountability buddy.
accountability buddy. I like that. It's like really fun to say. But having that and then being able to go and do those things, you know, just makes me feel better always.
Yeah, I think like as humans, we thrive off of connection, and I know that like we can get stressed out when we overcommit ourselves to things, or when we are about to go do an activity or hang out with people and stuff. It could get overwhelming inside, you know, especially I've seen for you stuff, but yeah, it's just that reminder, like human connection, when you're giving your time to the right people or the people that you love that fill your cup up, it brings so much joy. And afterwards, you're like, I'm so happy I went. And so,
100%.
yeah, I just think, you know, keep all of that in mind when we're coming into this season and seasonal depression, that like we can fight this, we can overcome it. And it just comes down to keeping your core values and your habits and your routine important to you, and not letting those really slip.
Fun fact.
According to my research,
They just did a study, and they found that the number one contributing factor to happiness is not diet, it's not exercise, it's not vitamin D, it's not sunshine, it's human connection.
Yeah.
So the power of connection and love.
It's one of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It is literally like a human need. Like you need that shit.
We need that.
Yeah.
You can't survive off of
Also, another fun fact, I just Googled and saw that seasonal depression occurs 4 times more often in women than men from the ages of 18 to 30. Women, just be a little bit more gentle with yourself. And yeah, I think, I don't know, I'm excited. I think this is a great season, and I know I'm tapping into a lot of new things.
Yeah. Good talk, ladies.
Good
Yeah.
talk. Stay close to your friends, stay close to your loved ones and people you feel safe with, and don't isolate. It makes everything worse.
Yeah. And reminder, December 15th, we're going to start gaining more sunlight. So 1 minute a day.
That's a
1
lot.
minute.
That's a lot. Like
That's
I
gonna
watched
come back
the sunset
quickly.
thing,
Yeah.
and it's like I literally take note. It's like sunsets at 4:52, sunsets at 4:51, and I'm just like,
Yo, 30 seconds, 60
I'll
seconds
take a
makes
minute.
a big difference.
oh, it does in a lot of ways, honey.
A lot of ways.
We need to, anyway. That was
Anyways,
disgusting.
Lady Ballers, we're going to wrap it up there. But as always, if you haven't subscribed, please hit that button. Also, like and share with your friends, family, anybody who you think might need this season. And
Your mama, your mama's mama,
Your mama's
your mama's brother,
Your mama, baba,
all the above.
Oh,
Share
the
with
brother from
everyone.
your other mother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone.
you got the point.
But stay safe out there. Be kind to yourselves, and we love you.
Happy
Bye, Lady
holidays.
Ballers.